I'm Kendra, and this is I Can Sew. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I wanted to start off by saying that if you want to talk to me directly, you can definitely leave a comment in the comment section of this video, or or you can contact me on Instagram. My name on Instagram is Kan Sew SEW Fit FIT. So Can Sew Fit. So feel free to reach out to me and shoot me ideas or just your thoughts or anything like that. Now, as you can see from the title of this video, I'm here to review my second copy of Sewn Magazine. Now, the first time, here it is. Look at this. Beautiful, right? The first time that I reviewed the magazine back in June, it was the first time, it was the Ankara edition. And I made a mistake by saying this came out monthly. This magazine comes out 6 times a month, so every other month. So this is the August edition, and I was so excited about it because, like I told you in my previous video, and if you haven't seen it, please go take a look at it. I go through almost every page of that magazine because I absolutely loved it, and I was super excited to check it out. I said that I love the idea that this is going to be a men's edition, so I wanted to check it out. So this is it was great. In case you want to order this, it is $14.99. It comes from Philadelphia, so it didn't take long at all to get to me. I don't know her distribution process, but this is only I received it about 3 days ago. So today's the 16th. I received it on um, today's Sunday though, so I received it like Wednesday. So just be careful. Clue. I also made a mistake in trying because I was going through it. It's my first time reading it, and I was going through it and I was trying to figure out where was the free pattern, and I realized I went right past the free pattern. So the free pattern, I think she's partnered with DG patterns.com, and they offer the free subscription. I mean, they offer the free pattern by clicking on their link and then using the code. So I'm not going to show you the discount code. Well, if you're quick to see it, you'll see it. But this is this is the free pattern this month, and the code and everything is underneath here. Okay. So if you get this magazine, you click on it and you use the special code, then that is the clear. Now, something else I'm going to do different this month is I could not wait to read this, and someone went through it. This design is this format is slightly different than the format from before because there is no message from the editor. So the last time I got it, I was looking for the message from the editor because I totally missed that the whole thing was Ankara and it was Ankara on every page. So this time I decided to like look for the actual the editor's note, find out, make sure I wasn't missing anything. So if I came to you and reviewed it again, it would be, I would have all the information that I need. So I did that and it's missing. We're going to move past that. It's not that important. Um, it jumps right in. It's very clear. There are men on the front. Like you said, the very first article in it is called, I hope this is not backwards because this is backwards when I read it, but it's called Black in Fashion, and it goes through a lot of men that it starts off on like the 60s, no, the 50s with Arthur McGee, and it goes up to, I think it went up to the 2000s, which there isn't one man in the 2000s that's really distinguishable, that you can say like they had Brian Lars from the 90s and Dapper Dan from the 80s. So there's no one man in the 2000s, which I think is a good thing because there's so many people emerging from everywhere. So it's going to be great to see um, in the 2021s, like to go back and see who was in the 21st century, who was the fashion designer choice at that point. Um, the next thing that I saw right after looking at all the men, and I'm telling you, I was so excited because I love the idea of men doing fashion, and I like that men. I like what they did was that men were doing fashion for men because I see a lot of men doing fashion for women, and in my opinion, They make gorgeous clothes, but they don't know how the female body works, because I don't know what's up with all the braless and open back items that don't fit the average woman. So I love that, the idea of having a magazine that talked about men sewing for men. Then I get to page 14 and 15 and 16, 17, and 18. And while it is a wonderful story about a young lady who used to be a police officer named Mac, Destiny Mac is her name, actually. She has a budding, I think they said it was a really good clothing line. I can't pronounce it, so I don't want to mess it up. But it's named after her father, which is why I don't want to mess the name up. And her clothes are beautiful. They're also men's fashion. I just didn't understand why she has so many pages in a men's magazine, in a men's themed magazine. But then it goes on to talk about Richie, somebody named, well, he has Richie Threads, but that's not his real name. He's a clothing designer too, and I guess he's one right now in the 2000s. Again, he's not I guess one they consider iconic, but he's out of New York and he's doing his thing. Now, he only got 2 pages. Three. He got three. He got three. And then we have this guy here who I do see on Instagram a lot. I'm gonna show you his picture just because when I saw this jacket on Instagram, I was like, what's going on here? What's going on? It's very creative. I personally don't sew things that I wouldn't wear. I see everybody sewing things that they think are intricate, they're beautiful to me. The idea of it is wonderful, but they don't plan on wearing it anywhere. I don't sew like that, which is why it takes me so long to sew things, which is why if I brave one day to show you my sewing room, you'll say, what the heck is going on here? Because I have over 100 and something patterns and a ton of fabric that don't match each other. Yeah, it's kind of like having mismatched socks. But I wanted to show you this guy here. So can you see it? I love the fact that he made a quilted uh, jacket. I just don't know where he's wearing it to. I mean, if you were going to maybe Tina Knowles wearable her wearable arts gala that she has, every year, maybe. But I don't know where you're wearing it. And he actually it's a full article, and it shows you, for you quilters out there, it shows you how he made it, how he quilted it, put it together. I think those are fig leaves, because on another page he talks about, yeah, they are. He talks about his fig leaf design right here. So he gets a lot of pages. Let me count his pages, because I'm telling you, when I got to Mac, I was like, what is going on here? He has one, which includes that cover page I showed you. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he might have the most. 6, 7. He's the star of the magazine, you all. And he does a great job. I do follow him on Instagram, and I like a lot of the stuff that he's done too. I can't tell you his backstory, but I do follow him. And then we have, now, I'm still in the middle of reading this. I did glance through it. I told you um, I did not want to like read, like do a first look again, because I felt like I didn't know what was going on in that first look. And although I watched a ton of first look videos, I don't know if looking through a magazine for the first time and sharing that worked for me. And because I don't want to tell you every detail of the magazine, because I want you to get her magazine. She works very hard on this, and again, the quality of this magazine is sublime. I mean, it is great. I don't want you to feel like you're reading a magazine through me, you know. So his name is Samuel McCullen, right? And I am going to show you his picture, just in case you want to look him up on Instagram. You want to make sure this is him. Here he is. And of course, you can read. He says, I like the idea of art being wrapped around someone and giving them joy when they touch it. Don't we all love that? He quilts, you all. Again, I'm not going to show you every page, but he has a picture with his mother. He quilts. So you guys have got to check this out. Then we have Emmanuel Bino. His story was very fascinating. He's a 20-year-old. He was in Germany as a culinary person. He cooked and he was a chef over there. And then he worked with this other top designer that he met that he was really good friends with, and he actually let him help him with a couple of like sewing. He didn't even own his own sewing machine for a long time because he was really good friends with that person. That totally sounds like me. And on a side note, I have a best friend. Her name is Lalita, and she is a gadget freak, and she buys everything under the sun. And if she has an idea, she buys everything that goes along with that idea, right? So I don't have to buy things when I get an idea. I just call her house and kind of do my own little QVC shopping at her house. So, shout out to my bestie. So this guy did the same thing. He learned to sew and kind of was mastering his craft for a long time. And he said it took him years before he finally went and bought his own sewing machine. And I say, if you have friends that have sewing machines, why should you buy your own? Unless you're totally inconveniencing them, or you're gonna be one of the people to wake up in the middle of the night and decide that you have to um, have it. The other thing I want to tell you about this magazine that I like, as opposed to other magazines, and again, I haven't reviewed a lot of sewing magazines, so but I mean for fashion magazines, I love the fact that the clothes that these people are wearing are clothes that we can make. So he made something out of Simplicity 8845. And I love that we can go and pick that pattern up ourselves. He made something out of McCall 2149, McCall 7637, and we can make the items ourselves. I love, love, love that. I love that because I'm going to show you this one lady's um, picture in the back of the magazine that I'm obsessed with watching on Instagram. I love her. And I think she's in her 50s, only because that's one of her hashtags. But she's so talented. She's so creative. And she shows you how to hack things. I mean, I really, really like her. I'll show you her. Now, for those of you who know me, you know that I'm a transplant in the DMV area. And these two guys who are coming up next are from the DMV. And they were actually the guys on the cover of the magazine. Now, the name of their hat company, you heard me correctly, hat company, is No Man's Hat. Like no man hat. They are named Raymond Mitzger and Phil McNair. And they had totally different backgrounds. One has a background of a bachelor and a master's in system engineering. The other one has has a doctorate, PhD, you guys, in physical therapy. They have taken um, a right turn, because lefties are always right, a right turn um, in another direction, and came up with this hat company. So they actually make hat companies. Here are two of their hats. Beautiful work, right? So they have a huge spread in here as well. And they talk all about their story, all about how they did this, how they got started. And I was fascinated because you don't really hear about hat makers, and you don't think really about hat makers being like true hat makers, not these bucket hats that we can sew ourselves, or anything that we make ourselves. You don't think about hat companies as being just tailors, and they are, and they're great at what they do. They go on next after this to talk about a guy who owns his own tie company. He's a young guy out of Gary, Indiana. They're beautiful. And then there's and then it shifts back to being about women. I was like, listen, I'm on a quest this year not to bash people, and this is not a bash at all. I don't have anything negative to say. It's just they added women. They added women, and it's women sewing for their men. But I think that's a reach. So it's a few women. One, two, three, four. Oh, yeah, yeah. It shifted over into women sewing for their men, man and sons, whoever. And the outfits are absolutely gorgeous. The art use patterns from that we can go out and buy ourselves and make, and that's really great. I promised my neighbor I would make him something, so that's great. They have a husband and wife sewing group in this magazine, sewing team in this magazine. They do a great job. They actually have a very long um, They have a very long spread as well. And then I think this is something they have in here all the time, which is sewing according to. And they have a sewing according to, this year it is So Hot Mommy with an I. And she's on Instagram and she has a 2-page spread on sewing according to her. So check that out as well. Now, let's move on. Oh my God. Okay. So my favorite part of the magazine overall, as much as I talked about, oh, here come the women, is the women's section of the magazine. So the lady I was talking about, her name is Jeanette Nicole. Her name on Instagram is Jeanette, Jeanette_underscore sews. And she showed us how to paint fabric using a stencil in this magazine. And it is so cute. You guys have got to check it out. And she also gives tips on how to make sure you do it correctly. So I'll show you a picture of her just so when you're online, you will know who I'm talking about. I really like her. She's the, like I said, she's the one that talks about sewing over 50. Um, and so she does a great job. They also have other sewers in here. This somebody did a 50s look last month too. Well, the last issue. So I guess that's the thing. I'm not into 50s look. I just would not. You guys have got to check out this magazine. I'm gonna read the link to you when I finish. For a woman named Melvinia Smith, Melvinia Smith. I love looking at these. Oh, what is the name of that group? That thing. Clearly, I don't wear name brand stuff. Oh, Burberry. So a couple of years ago, Burberry had these trench coats that they made, and they would have like different design elements to them. They were beautiful. And when I turned the page here, I stopped in my tracks. You guys have got to see this jacket. Look at this jacket. Oh my gosh. If that coat doesn't inspire you to stop in your tracks and go find all the pieces and something is a little ticket off with your ticker today. She talked about the sizes she made, the pattern type she used, the fabric type she used. She gave you hints on how to sew with metallics. It is freaking gorgeous. I mean, I just stared at it for a very long time. She did such a great job at this. Oh my gosh. Oh, I said I was gonna read to you the link to her site because I want you guys to find her. It is www.stylenpoise, so stylenpoise.com/blog/trench coat width a twist. Guess I could just put this down in my description bar, but you guys know how famously forgetful I am about that description bar. And then they have a couple more pieces in here. The last piece, last but not least, is Maury, which is the editor's daughter, remember? And she has a beautiful piece. I'm just going to show you the back of the magazine because it also gives you Sewn Magazine's information. And that way you get it all in one. Ready? Here it is. Isn't that beautiful? And there is the Sewn Magazine's information. Now, overall, I would give this magazine this magazine, um, on a scale of, A to F. I would give it an A. It would have received an A. I would say a B plus. Let me get B plus. I would have given it an A plus if they were able to figure out how to incorporate how to do this entire magazine with men only. But you know how some magazines will have a theme, but they're always going to have core elements in it. Like no matter what, it's going to have those core elements. So I understand having the women in the back, but as far as having the women sew for their men or the women designers, I would have preferred myself if they would have tracked down more men sewers. I don't know how active the editor is on Facebook. But on Instagram, I really don't see a lot of male designers or male or tailors, male sewers. I don't really see that. But on Facebook, I see them a lot. So that would have been fabulous to have that be a part of it. But most of the people that I see on here, I recognize from Instagram. So that may be where her strength is. And kudos to her for using her strength to include people in this magazine. They're doing a great job. The quality of the magazine, again, is great. Um, it comes out every 2 months. So it's every semi-monthly. No, that's not right. Bi-monthly. Bi-monthly. And it's $14.99 plus shipping. So I do recommend that you get the magazine. You can always order it by going to www.sewnmag.com. Now, thank you so much for spending 22 minutes with me reviewing this magazine. And what's up next for me? I'm actually in the middle of a contest, and I'm going to come back and tell you all about. Have a great one. Thank you.